Hey guys, welcome back to Cruiserman's Inventions. We are on the windmill build, and I'll just quickly take you through what I've been up to. So as you can see, there's 5 prongs on there ready for some scoops to go on there. And what I have down here is the very center part that actually came off the where I was doing all the testing on that board. You see that all of this is still on here. I've got to take all that off, but this is how far I got, guys. As you can see, this is a car wheel, and yeah, so what I've done was measured out all the same size bits of pipe, all the same diameter, welded them into the center here, all the way around, and I've also been working on the stator here, guys, and I've got 12 poles and then tied off at the end, and then another 12 poles and then tied off at the end. Each one of these sets of 12 poles gives me roughly about 105 volts is where I want to be with charging up my e-bike and, you know, other bits and pieces. And down here we have another 6 linked in for another generator, so I can have 2 generators in this. It was 3, but I've just recalibrated it for this windmill, and specifically for charging my e-bike. So what I done, guys, is I made up a system down here that bolted onto the shaft, so it was like that, and I welded that, centered it up, and I welded that to the wheel basically, and then that's got a grub screw in it, and that gets locked down to the shaft underneath here, which is a 1 inch shaft. It spins beautifully. It's all centered up really well, and even made up a little tool there just to make it easier. So yeah, guys, this is part 1 of this build, and the windmill build. It's really interesting. So I've uplarged and the whole center here, guys. So bigger bolts I've welded in here, and sort of made those holes bigger. And so you're probably thinking, well, how does all of this go? I'll just quickly try and place it all together a little bit for you. And then this here will be on here. Whoops. Come on, get on. There you go. And this one here be on here. It's a little tricky with one hand, and then I'll do it up with the nuts and bolts, and then put this on the magnet stator, and that'll go on the top here. This whole thing will be flipped up the other way, so this will actually be on the bottom, and that there will be flipped up the other way. This is a steel wheel, and I just thought, after watching some YouTube videos about a weighted center is really good, and then with the diameter of this spanned, which is a good meter, it's a good meter spanned, it should work a treat. Yeah, so this is a little bit of part 1, guys, of this build, and it's going to be quite interesting. It's got to be so careful with these wires, they're so tiny. The moment you yank on one and rip it out, oh, game over. But anyways, guys, so next thing I've got to do in part 2, basically you'll see all of this taken off, and new mounts will be welded on here, so that this here can be bolted to the frame that I'm going to be putting it on. So yeah, so this does really spin nice and free too. Beautiful seal bearings in there, locked in by the top nut here. So yeah, it's just a little bit on the windmill build, guys. Part 1. So This should be really interesting. We've had a lot of wind here lately, so why not harness a little bit of it for charging purposes. Should be good. Awesome stuff, guys. I'll keep you updated. So these 12 poles here, they're actually going through a car bridge rectifier, and this bridge rectifier, it has got like a little capacitor on it, so it does actually hold charge. Like if you touch that now, if it had anything in it, it'll give you a shock, alright? How much can they handle up to? I don't know. It seems to handle up to everything I give it, which is so far, you know, a good 100 and something volts through this, and yeah, yep, hasn't blown up yet. So this is what changes it from AC current you get out of this, and then once it's spun up, comes into this bridge rectifier, changes into DC. Yeah, I know somebody asked me, can I run a brushless motor off a DC controller, and I haven't done it, so I'm going to say no to that. So yeah, if there was a way, I'd done it, I'll tell you. So yeah, guys, so this is part 1 on the windmill, washing machine windmill build, guys. So yeah, awesome stuff, guys. I shall see you in part 2 coming up, hopefully soon, within the next couple of days. So cool, guys. Cruiser man out, guys.